What it sounds like you played much better in the second, third week of this little camp. What changed for you? Was it a matter of the system adjustment, or what did you do better?
Just listening to the coaching points. It's hard to come in, playing a base 3-4 defense, having limited practices. Camp was cut short in the first part of it before the cancellation or postponement. Really just taking the coaching points, honing in on little things and, just taking it one play at a time. I was thinking I was definitely stressing out, trying to be a dominant player up front in a 4-3 base defense, and trying to be that guy day one. But I know it's a process, and I just tried to slow things down for myself.
What are the biggest differences between a 4-3 and a 3-4 for your position?
I would say it's a little bit of variation, but playing in a shade is definitely been an adjustment for me. I did a little bit at Stanford, but coming here and knowing that I'll be at a shade every down, it changes your mindset. You have to strike a man first instead of reading him, as we call it, attack react. Coach Peoples has coached us up on, and just being able to play in that style, but also being able to adapt and play the react attack, the vice versa of that. Just trying to hone both of those in has been a slight bit of a challenge, but Coach Peoples has helped me, every step of the way.
Thank you.
All right, Kevin, then John.
Hey, Jovan, how would you say you're fitting in with the others in the defensive line room? What are you learning from them about the system, and maybe even things that you're trying to pass down as a veteran player, albeit, from a different program?
First off, I would say that fitting in with the guys, I thought I fit in back in December when I took my visit. Met some of the guys at their bowl prep and felt right at home, honestly. Nobody had a big ego. Everybody was working, for the common goal. And that was something I wanted to embrace and, bring into, my game. And so in that way, I appreciate, the room and how accepting they are. But as far as, being a veteran in the position I'm in, I played a lot of football, but I've also got to take away from the guys who play a lot of football here and trying to bounce ideas off of them and, taking what they know and their knowledge of the game and also imparting some of my wisdom. But mostly, we're all here to play the same game. And at the end of the day, it's just X's and O's. And if I can, demonstrate that it's not more than just playing your technique at a high level, it'll be simpler from top down, whoever has to step on the field.
All right, John, then Jordan.
I just wanted to elaborate. You talked about, coming in wanting to be like, the biggest, baddest guy on the defensive line and things like that. I mean, why was that something you were putting pressure on yourself to do? Obviously, your grad transfer. But, I mean, why was that the case? And kind of what was kind of going wrong? How did you figure out you needed to slow down and to not do those things?
Playing too fast, you make a lot of mistakes. You slow things down, you're able to assess and analyze, what to fix. And then how to go climb the ladder from that point. You can't just reach the top of the ladder. You can't jump and scale a ladder. You have to climb it one prong at a time. And so, coming in, I basically placed myself at the bottom end of the totem pole. I just wanted to, have that mentality. And, I jumped the gun at the beginning, but now I understand, like, it's good competition here at the 3-tech spot, at any spot really across the line. And I just wanted to use the iron sharpens iron, mentality and make myself better as well as make my teammates better and not think that anybody's higher than another, but what can we do to improve ourselves as a whole so the whole unit and not just myself is going to be the best when it comes to game day.
All right, Jordan and Dylan.
Hey, Jovan. With the absence of guys like Marcelino Ball and Raheem Lane in the secondary, how important is it for you and the rest of the D-line room to kind of step up and put pressure on the quarterback this year?
I think in the trenches, you always have to step up. It doesn't matter who's down in the back on the back end. We trust that they're going to do their job. Whoever they put on the field, I mean, Coach Womack, Coach Allen is not going to put anybody on that field that doesn't deserve to be or can do their job. And in the trenches, we know that if you don't handle your job, then there will be problems on the back end. So we're trying to alleviate that up front with the D-line and the LBs being in unison, our run fits and our pass pro and our pass rushing and things like that. So we know that if it has to get to the secondary, it does. But we're trying to get those coverage sacks because we trust that they're going to do their job on the back end.
All right, Dylan, then we'll wrap up with Matt.
Hey, Jovan, this was obviously a young defense last year, and they're returning a lot of guys. I mean, from when you came in and you've spent a lot of time with them and practicing with them, I mean, what have you seen that's kind of stood out about the mentality of the defense overall and just sort of the confidence they have?
So I've been shocked every day. I feel like I meet somebody new. I don't have all the names down, but to learn that these guys are first and second year players, some redshirted, it shocked me because I stepped on the field and I'm like, oh, you've been here for a few years. Oh no, this is my second year. Or, I'm a fifth year. What year are you? Oh, I'm just a redshirt sophomore. And I'm like, wow, you guys play like veterans. And when the pads come on, you can't really tell. I played, multiple games, bowl games, Pac-12 championship, and the style of play that we have here, just in practice alone, is at a high level. And I'm just so glad and happy to be a part of something special.
All right, Matt, last one.
Hey, Jovan, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm okay. You talked about coming in and that adjustment to the new defense. Obviously, been at the 3-tech. Jerome Johnson's played there a bunch the last few years. How much have you leaned on him, and how much has he kind of helped you just day in and day out get it down and what you need to do and what you need to work on?
I think that when we turn on the film and we're competing every day, it makes both of us better. There's no day you can slack here, especially at the 3-tech spot. We've got even competition from CJ Person, DeMar J. Lewis. Those are some talented dudes. And just seeing, how well they perform makes me want to perform even better every day and know that I have to bring my A game, because at the end of the day, we're all fighting for reps. And I think it's pretty special that we have that type of competition, because that's not the way it is at multiple schools. But I'm excited for whoever gets on that field. I know that I want to be out there as much as I can to help with my guys, but I know that whoever they place out there, we're all competing. We're all going to be at a high level.